The Tissot PRX is one of the best watches you can buy for under £1,000, but not everyone is a fan. So what other affordable everyday options are there for people who hate the PRX and the whole integrated bracelet thing in general? Here are 10 great everyday watches to buy instead of the PRX. Before the PRX came, Gentleman. There's a fine line between classy and boring, and the Gentleman is a perfect example. If you're looking for something flashy, this isn't it. But if you want something that will work in almost any situation, this could be the one for you. The quartz version starts at £380 on the traditional 3-link bracelet, and the automatic version's £765 with an upgraded Pomatic 80 movement. There are lots of different colour variants, so you should be able to find something you like, and it looks great on a bracelet or strap. At 40mm, it's not going to work on the smallest wrists, but for everyone else, it might make for the perfect one-watch collection. Tissot really could do with releasing a smaller version between 36 and 38mm. You can't make a top 10 without mentioning Casio, but we're not talking about watches made from recycled crisp packets like the F91W. No, we're talking real watches, specifically the Edifice EFE 100D and the EFE 110D. These watches are the best value Casio's money can buy. A choice of either a 40mm or 35mm case, a screw down crown with 100 meters of water resistance, and a choice of dial colours, black, blue or white. What's not to love? Even the bracelet is wearable as well, and you can pick these up for well under £100. It's a no-brainer. If you're a fan of the Rolex Datejust or Universal Genève Pole Router, the Laurier Astra should be right up your street. Laurier is a micro brand out of New York City, USA, and it is the enthusiast watch brand, with each of its models offering a nod and a wink to famous watches from the past. The Astra measures 36mm in diameter, 11mm thick including the domed Hesalite crystal, 20mm lug width, and a lug-to-lug of 44mm, and is rated to 100 meters of water resistance. There's a Jubilee style bracelet, and the automatic movement is the reliable Miyota 9015. It's a great all-rounder and costs around £400 before shipping and taxes. There's a choice between a white or cosmic blue dial, and it also has a neat party trick. The concentric rings are filled with BGW9 Superluminova. Wow! 36.5mm in diameter, 8.75mm thick, 20mm lug width, 44mm lug to lug. Miyota 9039 automatic movement, 100 meters of water resistance. You can also choose to have a date or no date complication, with a choice of beautiful sunray dial colours, blue grey, mint green or silver. It ticks all the boxes. Traska is another micro brand that hails from the home of the brave and the land of the free, the good old USA. This watch could easily substitute for a Rolex Datejust or Oyster Perpetual, but it costs less than 1/10 of the price at around £470, and it looks as classy as hell. The Seiko Saab 033 and the Saab 035 are modern classics, which Seiko decided to discontinue for some mind-boggling reason. There are some current production Seikos with a similar vibe, like the Presage Sharp Edge series, but none really come close, and Seiko has bumped its prices up in recent years. So tracking down one of these stunning watches is a great idea. Expect to pay upwards of £200 for a beat-up example, and £500 or more for an excellent example. The only differences between the two models are the dial colours. Otherwise the cases measure 38mm in diameter, with a thickness of 11.5 and a short lug-to-lug of 43.5. There's a display case back showing off the 6R15 automatic movement, and water resistance is rated to 100 meters. You really can't go wrong with these watches. The C63 Sealander is Christopher Ward's answer to the Omega Seamaster Aquaterra. It comes in at either 36 or 39mm, with compact lug-to-lug measurements owing to the tapering lugs. The case and bracelet are made from 316L stainless steel, with a refined mix of brushed and polished surfaces. There are a range of dial colours, and the movement is the respected Sellita SW200-1. It costs less than £1,000 at £840, but it seems there is a determined effort to elevate the brand from plucky micro brand to legit luxury watch brand. So now might be the time to grab a Christopher Ward before the brand starts commanding much higher prices. Smiths is one of Britain's most famous watch brands. Legendary mountaineer and explorer Sir Edmund Hillary summited Mount Everest wearing a Smiths Deluxe wristwatch, but the brand struggled due to the quartz crisis and stopped making watches soon afterwards. A few years ago, the rights to the Smiths name were purchased, and watches bearing the name are now sold on the Time Factors website. The Transglobal PRX-54 is Smiths' answer to the Universal Genève pole router, only it comes in a more modern case size of 38mm compared to the smaller pole router. It measures 12.3mm thick with a lug width of 20 and a lug to lug of 46.75. The case shape is very similar with elegant twisted lugs, and the dials have the famous chapter ring, of which there are a choice of 6 colours. The movement is the trusty Miyota 9039, and like the pole router, the case is anti-magnetic. It's as close as you're going to get to a modern day pole router for around £365. San Martin started out as a shameless homage brand, but now it has finally started producing its own unique designs. The SN0106-G3 is one such watch, and it comes with either a black or funky blue dial, with a chapter ring filled with BGW9 Superluminova. The case is 360mm stainless steel and measures 37mm in diameter, with a thickness of 13.1, a lug width of 20, and a lug to lug of 45. There's a screw down crown and case back, and it's rated to 200 metres of water resistance. It's finished off with a nice beads of rice bracelet. The movement is the trusty old Seiko NH35, which keeps the price down to around £200, which isn't bad at all. Nodus is a micro brand based in Los Angeles, California. The Nodus Sector Sport is effectively a tool watch but with some playful dial colours. It measures 38mm in diameter with a thickness of 12.5, lug width of 20 and lug to lug of 47. There's a knurled screw down crown, screw down case back and water resistance rating of 100 metres. The movement is the Seiko NH38, the no-date version of the popular NH35, and the bracelet is a H-link style. The case and bracelet have a completely brushed finish. It's a watch for the adventurer that wants something they can wear out in the wilderness but will still do a job in more mundane situations. It comes in at £375. Nivada Grenchen is a brand that dates back to 1926, but its current iteration was launched in 2020 after an entrepreneur bought the rights to the brand and its back catalogue. If you want a watch that looks like nothing else, that can be dressed up or dressed down, and costs less than £600, the Antarctic Spider might be for you. It has a case measuring 38mm in diameter, with a thickness of 11.1, a lug width of 20 and a lug to lug of 45. Its twisted lugs and quirky dial give it a distinctive vintage feel. There's a choice of dial colours, brushed sunray silver or salmon, and you can pick from a variety of strap options, but I would probably go for the stainless steel and pick up a second strap separately. Nivada Grenchen has teased a 35mm version too, which is really exciting for me. So there we go. This list was actually much harder to put together than I had imagined, because a lot of Swiss brands have simply abandoned this sort of price segment. I think micro brands offer some of the best value for money, which is why they feature so much in these top 10 lists. Let me know in the comments what you think. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.